Emotional healing. Breaking your silence. Some things are difficult to discuss. Sometimes it's easier to keep things buried within us. But buried pain doesn't heal very well, now does it? Buried pain stays buried and festers, sometimes surfacing when we least expect it, often when we are least equipped to deal with it. It's better to help ourselves heal before issues come to a head. It's better to break the silence, and the easiest place to start is with a silent prayer. We all have things we'd rather keep quiet. Some of us have been mistreated, abused, neglected. Some of us have been sexually assaulted. Some of us have been humiliated and defeated. This doesn't sound like good news, does it? But maybe it is. The Bible tells us in Psalm 34:18 that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. God is there for the people who need Him most. That's me. Could that be you too? Does it really help to talk to God about our pain? In John 14:27, Jesus says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." This verse suggests that talking to Jesus about our hurt might actually be the most beneficial conversation we can have. He can offer us a healing that surpasses the healing of the world. He can offer us a heart free of trouble or fear. All we have to do is ask. This is often easier said than done. For those of us who believe that God already knows everything, it might feel silly to tell Him about our issues. But He wants to hear it from our hearts. He wants us to seek Him. It is by admitting our need for Him that we gain access to His healing power. For those of us who aren't even sure if we believe in a God, it might feel silly to talk to one. Lucky for us, we can start the conversation with that doubt. Nowhere in the Bible does it say God will hold back His healing power if we begin our prayer with, "Is there anybody out there?" If we are honestly seeking Him, even if we're not sure what it is we are doing, what it is we are saying, He is still listening. He will hear you. And just by beginning that conversation, we begin to heal. And if we are feeling really brave or really grateful, we can always thank Him for our pain. I know, that sounds crazy, right? In 2 Corinthians 12:9, Christ says, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness." And the Apostle Paul responds to this by saying, "Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me." I don't think Paul was suggesting that we run up and down the streets shouting that we were molested when we were young. We can, however, adopt an attitude that allows us to feel strengthened by our pain. If it is this pain that brings us closer to the all-healing power of an all-powerful God, if it takes a little bit of hell to fill the peace of heaven, maybe, just maybe, we can be grateful. Grateful for sufficient grace, grateful for perfect power. It might take a while to get there. We don't usually break the silence and immediately fall to our knees in gratitude. It is a process, and one that might be impossible to accomplish on our own. The first step, however, is always breaking the silence. The first step has to be a conversation with God. It doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't have to be rehearsed. It doesn't even have to make sense. We just need to open our hearts. We just need to break the silence. We just need to ask. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden light. Matthew 11:28 through 30. Are you feeling burdened today? Tired? Heavy? Sick of carrying around whatever lies buried in your heart? You don't have to suffer in silence alone. God will always be there for you. He is waiting on you to come to Him. God is easy to talk to. Open your heart, start the conversation, and begin to experience emotional healing in your life today. Get a copy of the new book titled, Real Change Starts With You, the 5-minute decision that promises you will experience love, inner peace, joy, and live a fulfilled life. Available on Amazon. By Robert Moment, spiritual life coach and author. Visit www.spirituallifecoachrobert.com and get coached on being the best version of yourself.